What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to iStuff Gaming, and today we're going to be going over my top 5 tips for new players in Smite. Now, before we get into the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and if you'd like to keep up with any future content or catch me while I'm Twitch streaming, I'll be leaving those links in the description below. Now, at number 5, I would say learn how to place your wards. Warding in this game is half the battle no matter what game mode you in besides, Assault. But wards will save your life at all times. Now, 2 wards on the map isn't really going to do much. That much is true. However, if your entire team is warding, you will never get snuck up on. And that's guaranteed fact. You will never get snuck up on. And you will always be ready for any incoming ganks, and it'll help you actually play safer. So get wards. They're 50 gold a pop. And at early game, before you hit level 12, you get a free ward. So all you have to do is just spend the extra 50 gold to get a ward. And also, on top of that, learn the best warding spots for the lane that you're in. For mid, it's going to be higher, closer towards the enemy team's red and the left camp, while the jungler is supposed to be warding at the bottom, where he is at, while the support and the carry lane obviously ward up the right or left side, and vice versa. At number 4, learn your character before you go into a match. I cannot stress this enough, because it's one thing to understand how the character works and knowing that he's a hunter or a mage or anything along those lines, but go into your ability tab and just read what each move does so you know how to use them, right? Because the worst thing you could possibly do is pick a brand new character that you've never used before and you've never seen before, or you've seen them if you never played and you've never really learned about them, and just trying to go into a match thinking they're dumb when in reality their kit kind of sucks. You just got to learn how to make it work, right? So always go through your characters. Always go through the character that you want to learn, and try to learn them as in-depth as possible. At number 3, it's very simple. Learn how to play every role. Now, yes, there's going to be some roles that you're not going to want to learn, namely support. I know a lot of people don't want to play support. However, if you're going to play a game like this, you're going to have to suck it up and get a role, and sometimes get a role that you don't know how to play, or that you don't like to play. For me, for example, I don't like playing jungle. And I don't really like playing mid, but I'll play mid. Support I'm okay at. But I know how to at least play every single role. That way, if I don't get the roles that I want, then I'll at least be useful for a team and know what exactly I'm doing. At number 2. Now, y'all see it in all my videos. Jungle practice is your best friend. Jungle practice allows you to test, not necessarily test builds, but just kind of get a feel for how the characters work. Know how far a move goes. Know how close you have to be to somebody. Learn casting times. Jungle practice is an amazing place to go to when you don't feel like doing arena or doing conquest or doing joust. Use practice. It is there for a reason. Don't just jump into a game and don't just jump into a match and trying to learn a new character and you didn't really lab how their moves work, or you're not used to how far their abilities are. So before we get to number 1, I'm going to do a few honorable mentions. At number, for the first honorable mention, learn how to ban. Now, you're not going to really worry about ranked conquest, ranked joust, duel, things along those lines until your account reaches level 30. However, before you get there, study up on what the current meta is, and learn how to ban accordingly. And don't just ban based on who you don't like. For example, if you don't like Fenrir, but Fenrir is not part of the meta, don't ban him. Because just because you don't like him doesn't mean someone's either A, going to pick him, or B, they're really that stupid. For example, I hate Chang'e with a passion. I think she is a retarded character. However, I know she's not that great when it comes to conquest and when it comes to team fighting. So I'm not going to ban her because I don't like her. I'm going to ban somebody like Yamoja, or I'm going to ban somebody like Bakasura or Merlin, because they're really strong gods right now. So learn how to ban, If you don't know how to ban, don't be afraid to ask your teammates. BGS is there. If you're on PlayStation, I'm sorry, it is going to take a little bit of time, but pay attention to a good tip for that if you don't know how to ban is first ban for your lane and then ban for the other lanes accordingly. So if you're going to mid, ban people like Persephone, Merlin, Raijin, characters like that. And then if you're in solo, you would ban King Arthur, you would ban... Sometimes you would ban Jormungandr. You would definitely ban Cthulhu right now. So just learn how to use your bans wisely. Another thing I want to talk about before we get to number 1 is turn off auto builder. And don't rely on the preference or the popular items tab when you're building a god that you're not sure how to build. Yes, it's a good reference. However, some of the time the items that they use really aren't that good. For example, I remember at one point a Willick's stone cutting sword was one of her popular items, and this character does not need that item. So if you're looking for specific items to use on gods and things along those lines, you know, you can check out my guides for one. But look up how to build the character. Don't go to Reddit. Just try to look at some pro builds or watch some matches with the characters that you like to play or you want to learn how to play and learn how to build off of them rather than using the popular title. And finally, at the number 1 thing that I can tell Smite beginners is learn how to take fault. It's not always your support's fault. It's not always your jungler's fault. It's not always your mid's fault. And it's not always your solo's fault. Sometimes you have to learn how to criticize yourself and learn how to be hard on yourself and realize where you're messing up. Yes, if your mid is doing bad or they refuse to go in with you, why would you continue trying to fight with the mid laner if you know they aren't going to fight with you? Sometimes you just need to learn when to engage, when not to engage. Sometimes you need to learn that, hey, I may have died here because my jungler wasn't here, but I also didn't have wards here, so I didn't know that I was going to get jumped and I'm out of position. Things like that and that kind of mindset will help you get exponentially better at this game. Me personally, I had to learn that the hard way. I actually went into Conquest by myself for a very long time, and I took a lot of L's. I lost a whole bunch of times. Sometimes it was my fault, sometimes it wasn't. But even during the times that I knew it wasn't my fault, I still looked at my gameplay. I looked at how I played and see what could I have done better to help my team so they didn't fall behind as hard as they did. And along with learning how to take fault, being toxic doesn't solve anything. Yes, you see me be toxic before in my Twitch streams. It's funny, but at the end of the day, it won't solve anything. So you need to be able to buckle down as a team, because the more divided you are as a team, the worse your game experience is going to be. So those are my top 5 beginner tips for Smite. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Go ahead and hit that bell button down below so you can keep up with any updates that I have. And I will catch y'all next time.